Throughout these recent events, I've really got to thinking about family and about what really matters. Cars are fun. I love them. They're my passion. They're my hobby. And I guess kind of like a side gig, if you will. But there is way more to life than this, obviously. And you all know that. But sometimes we need to be reminded. So tonight we're going to talk about that. I want to give you some of my past experiences, kind of what I went through whenever I was younger. And where my mind is now, my mindset. Sometimes I need to say things because I also need to hear this. So tonight's going to be just, opening up and talking about some stuff. So I had my first child whenever I was 21 years old. I thought I was super mature. I thought I'm 21 years old. I got a kid and I'm going to do everything right. And guys, I tried. Let's say I was working at a sign place at the time and, paid decent money for what it was. And I thought I had everything figured out. I blew money on cars. I was always out street racing and hanging out with my buddies. And although I made time for my kids and my family, it was more about friends and cars and stuff like that. The mindset that we had back then was, this is really cool what we're doing, and everybody else thinks it's cool too. We get out here and we work on these cars because we're passionate about it. There's probably something wrong with us, to be honest with you. There's probably something in our heads that it's just not right. There's probably an imbalance that makes us the way we are about these cars. And my wife is very understanding. She gets it. She supports me on it, but at the same time, I'm fully aware that a lot of times she just doesn't say anything. I know that it wears on her that I come out here and I work on this car constantly. She's in the house with the kids all the time. So every time that I'm out here working on this, that's time away from my family, and that's time that she has to take away from what she wants to do. So that's something that we need to think about, right? These are some of the best memories that your kids will have. Riding in a hot rod, riding in a Mustang, it doesn't matter, guys. It's involving your kids and your family is really a cool thing to do. And that's what we all should be doing. We think what we do is the coolest, and anything outside of that is lame. As I've gotten older, I've realized that everybody pretty much thinks that way. Maybe not to the level that a car enthusiast does, but absolutely other people think that way. There's a stigma that goes along with people that are into cars and into this stuff. You spend all your money, you spend all your time, you're a grease monkey, you're probably not too smart, you didn't make it far in school, you're never gonna have anything. So, that's the mindset that a lot of the population has about us. Whenever you come out to the garage and you're working on your car, get your kids out there, get your wife out there, bring her out and show her what it is that you're doing. Chances are she probably doesn't care, but that's cool though. At least show her. Obviously, there's women out there that do the same thing, so get your husbands out there. Hopefully, I would hope your husband would at least be into it with you. That would be odd if not. I remember riding with my granddad in his Ford pickup truck whenever I was little. I remember the smell of it. It had no AC. Had to roll the windows down. You pull the little vents open, and that was your AC. And those were some of the best times, honestly, that I can remember as a kid. And hanging out with my dad, turning wrenches. See, the thing is, in my opinion, we forget that our kids just want to be around us, right? You guys have noticed in my videos, Memphis will be out riding her bike or her scooter. She's not necessarily right up under me, but as soon as I go inside, she goes inside. So it took me a while to kind of pay attention to that. She just wants to be around me. Our kids feel safe around us, right? They love us. They want to be around us. And a lot of times we're real quick, honestly, to just tell them to go inside. I'm busy. Go inside. I have to look back to my childhood and what it was like for me, being around my dad. I just wanted to be around him. He'd be under a car working on it, and I might crawl under there with him to look around, but more than likely, I was just kind of out around him doing my own thing, and that was cool while he was in the shop. I was just happy to do that. it was really awesome whenever we would go to like car shows and stuff like that. And my mom would go, and we would travel to different car shows. He always had a nice car that we'd put in a car show that he had painted and done all that work to. And I was proud. I was proud as a kid to be a part of that, and I was proud of him, and my parents both. I had a great childhood. We didn't have a lot of money. It wasn't like that, but the things that we did were just fun. And a lot of it revolved around cars. This is a very involving hobby that we have. It's easy to get so consumed in it that we forget that there's people inside that house or over there waiting on us to get done. As understanding as they may seem, as forgiving as they may seem, put yourself in their shoes. But it's our duty to go in and thank our wives every once in a while. Give her a kiss and tell her thank you for watching the kids while I worked on the car. Thank you for cooking dinner, while I was outside all weekend drinking beer and working on the car. Right now is a time where we need to be spending time with our families. We just do. So take this time that you have, if you have any extra time, and spend it with your family. Lay on the couch with your kids or your wife or whatever the case may be, and watch some TV. Do something that'll be memorable during these times. I know it's kind of an odd intro, kind of an odd title and a topic, and I probably didn't tell you anything that you didn't already know, but sometimes we just need to talk through things. And I need to remind myself that I've got to get in there and spend more time with the kids. I get so caught up in, these cars and what I'm doing and trying to do things in a timely manner, and essentially prove myself, right? I will say this: we are some of the most competitive people on earth. This is kind of like off subject in a way, but we are some of the most competitive people. If you have friends that are also into cars, whether it be Mustangs, Hondas, it doesn't matter. There's a competition there. I'm telling you, we don't want to lose. We want to win, and we may smile, we may shake your hand, we may be happy for you that your car's faster and maybe you beat us, but ultimately, we're plotting and scheming against our own friends. We're trying to get after them. That's just how it is. That's the nature of it. And it causes us to be very competitive, but that's kind of the fun of it. You got to keep it clean, and you got to always remember that it's not that serious, but at the same time, expect it. Nobody's promised tomorrow. And right now, I think, is a very good example of that. I mean, we see just how quickly things can fall apart. It doesn't always have to be a competition, and it doesn't always have to be about you. I think most of us do a pretty good job, especially as you get older. You do a really good job of starting to realize that, and it becomes more of a hobby. I guess if you pay attention to the evolution of a car person, when they're younger, it's all about how fast can my car go, how does it look, is it better than the next guy's, and that's pretty much all we strive for, right? And then as you get a little older, it kind of changes. You become that Corvette guy that meets at Golden Corral, with all of his buddies. But there's a different mindset that comes into play as you get a little older, and it's not so much about the racing, and it's not so much about that. It's more about family, and it's more about just enjoying the cars. So guys, if you're struggling right now, give yourself a little bit of time. As you get a little older, things will slow down a little bit. So I know how it is, guys. You're going to lose sleep at night worrying about these cars, how you can go faster, where you can get the money from, this and that. Just remember, that's not everything that's important. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. We're going to do some more of these. Just to kind of sit down and talk with you guys and anybody else. I don't know if this video is going to reach out to somebody new, but if you're new to the channel, this isn't always the format. This is just something a little different right now given the situation. So all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead, wrap this video up, and as always, thanks for watching.
Don't you know that I'll be around to guide you through your weakest moments? Leave them behind. Turning nightmares, only shadows. 'Cause so love will be alright. 'Cause so light will be alright. Process all over, heavy on your shoulders.
2 years old. 2 years old.
Inside you,
Last day of being 2 years old. She just got her bike yesterday.
disturbing silence, dark